We were a good group, a tight group, they would call it all.
It's a wall hanging, yeah, it's kind of cute.
Larger painting that I did from my grandfather's photo. Right?
Appreciate that.
I like sharing what I know with other people.
Hello, our names are Luna and Jordan. Today is May 1st, 2026, and we are at Tuckerton Elementary School in New Jersey. We are interviewing Mrs. Siobhan Grayson as part of our Tuckerton Seaport This is a Place project. Thank you for joining us today.
We have a few questions for you today. Did you grow up in this area?
I did, not in Tuckerton, but I grew up in Bass River, which is New Gretna, a town next to Tuckerton.
What was Tuckerton like when you were a kid?
Tuckerton, well, since I lived in the area, Tuckerton was a little less busy. You know, we didn't have the things that we do have now, like the Dunkin' Donuts and as much traffic through town. But it was very much some of the, buildings were the same. The things that were added were, the seaport and things like that were added. But much of Tuckerton remains the same as it was when I was a kid.
That's cool. Are you happy that it changed? That new things were added?
I think with change, there can be positives and negatives, right? So I think the things that are added to our community can bring new things in, and the things that maybe can be a negative, which might be a little bit more traffic, but it also shows that we have an area that really people love and enjoy. So that's a positive.
How has Tuckerton changed over time?
Probably more that I have seen more of the businesses along the seaport area and along Route 9. We really haven't grown too much in terms of developments. Most of the developments have stayed exactly the same. So there's not a whole lot of areas to build within Tuckerton, but it is nice to see the businesses that have been added, especially like around the seaport area, and the things that are coming into our community, like Porch Fest. Those types of activities really weren't something apart when I was growing up. The skateway was. The skateway, which, did anybody mention the roller skating, the skateway? So the skateway, when you had said, like, what has changed growing up, because I lived in New Gretna, so that's the neighboring town, it was the Tuckerton Skateway. So in terms of something to do on the weekends, we had a roller skating rink, which was located where like Costa's Grill and Air Nails, like that area there was a roller skating rink. So that was pretty cool. So we did have something cool to do on the weekends.
What makes Tuckerton special to you?
I don't think it's just one thing, right? So I think I thought a lot about this question ahead of time about what is special, because the things that I value are the things that I feel are just very represented in Tuckerton. So I love the history of Tuckerton. I love that there are not just a matter of the houses that are still here that are historical, but much of the landmarks, and even landmarks that were brought back. So Tuckerton is very rich in history and in terms of like a coastal community. Nature, I am just very much into nature, and the coastal community provides so many different ways for people to appreciate or participate in nature, whether you enjoy, fishing, hunting, kayaking, hiking, whatever it might be. There's a lot in our area, and community. I love the sense of community here. I think it's just very special. There are events that have grown. Again, Porch Fest, that's a new event, so that's really exciting to see some culture and some art and performance art come in. But there are things that are just very traditional in Tuckerton, like the Duck and Decoy show and the 4th of July celebration that we get so many people from all over. So the community itself, I think, just ties all those things together.
You've been a student here, a teacher here, and now a principal and superintendent. What was the journey like?
Wow. Yeah. A little bumpy at times. So I wasn't a student here. I did go to Bass River School, so I went to the neighboring school. But in terms of the journey, it's one I never would have expected. That is for sure. That's not something I would even say like I set out to do. I think I am very fortunate that I found kind of like my place here in Tuckerton, and I've been very supported by the amazing teachers that I got to work alongside and learn and grow from from being a teacher, and then just continue to grow and develop as a school leader. Definitely has helped me understand, I think, the needs of our community and how to lead our community from being here so long. But it wasn't always easy. No.
What was your favorite part about being a teacher here?
I think just the people that I got to teach with. I many of them are still here, teaching no matter where you are. Of course, you go into teaching because you love kids. So that part has always been there for me, working with children. But the part that I loved the most about teaching was the people that I got a chance to work with. They made every day worth it. Some days are very hard. It's not an easy job. So having a supportive team to work with, that was my favorite part.
So now I have a few questions.
Okay.
How does your connection to this community influence the way you lead our school?
It's my foundation, right? There are many decisions and many things to plan and coordinate and consider, and I kind of have to allow my brain to shift around a lot. There's a lot of thoughts that go around in Mrs. Grayson's brain, and I have to really think about, sometimes when I think too much like the leaders and stop myself to say, okay, well, let me think about the kids' perspective. Let me think about the parents' perspective. Let me think about the community's perspective. Again, being here and learning and growing with everybody, that has helped me, because I try my best to not just come from the leader side of me, taking all of the perspectives of those who I serve, because that's truly what I feel I do. My job is a job of service. I serve our community.
So what would you hope for your students to remember about going to school here?
I would hope that they remember that they were a part of a special community who really just love you guys. We want to see all of our students thrive and be successful and do their best and grow into successful adults, whatever careers, interests, job paths, that are ahead of you, being good people. So, hoping that the kids really grow up remembering that they really were cared for, and that, all of our staff want the very best, but we push you all to be the very best people that you can be.
So if there was someone about to move to Tuckerton, how would you describe Tuckerton?
I would describe Tuckerton as, I think we're laid back. I think we're a welcoming community. I think we're a friendly community. So I would hopefully encourage them to visit places around town, get familiar, talk with other families. Describing Tuckerton, again, welcoming, friendly, a lot of different activities, to be a part of. So finding things that interest them. It's hard to describe it in just one way to describe Tuckerton. So I think, hopefully welcoming and inviting is probably and friendly is what I would lead with, because I do feel like we are, in fact, a small town, yes, but we are a friendly small town.
So what advice do you give your students growing up around this area and in this community?
Don't be afraid to explore, right? So as it can be so many wonderful things about living in a small, tight-knit community, but sometimes it can be a little nerve-wracking or a little scary thinking of other parts of our state, other towns, other countries, all of those things that we think we're so small here, that we can maybe get intimidated by thinking what's beyond Tuckerton. So I would say, you know, hopefully put yourselves in positions where you're learning about different areas in our state, learning about different communities, cultures, because that can always help you learn and grow as a person.
Do you have anything else you'd like to share with us, either about your job or connection with the Tuckerton area?
I think you did a fantastic job with all of your questions. No, I have nothing to add.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Those are all our questions. Thank you for meeting with us today. We really enjoyed learning about your connection to our school in Tuckerton.
Thank you for interviewing me.